You know those get rich quick schemes? Yeah, those are speed. And you know the people who are millionaires and then go bankrupt and become millionaires again? That's skill. So it's skill over speed. I think a lot of us naturally want to rush the process. I know I did growing up. I suppose I never really looked at get rich quick schemes, at least not often, maybe once in a while. I looked at stuff like, I don't know. I remember I wanted to dabble in stocks at one point, but that was really it. I was never into the whole Shopify or drop shipping thing. Like, I never got into that. But even though I wasn't exactly looking for a get rich quick scheme, I was trying to get rich quick. The vision in my mind was always do something online and blow up quick. Whether it was being a Twitch streamer when I was younger or being a YouTuber, which is the route I ended up choosing, except it used to be about gaming, or I did want to be a vlogger and I started the vlog, but it's not for me. I enjoy living my life as opposed to recording it. It kind of takes away from the authentic, real experience and immersion. And I also want to be a rapper, which I'm also pursuing. But my mindset as a Twitch streamer is, for whatever reason, just because my personality is unique and I'm authentic, that people would watch me. And keep in mind, I wasn't even playing like slice of life games or stuff like, for example, Spider-Man, where it's a story mode and it's more about your personality playing through the game. I was playing stuff like Call of Duty or Fortnite when I was like younger, or Valorant, like competitive games. And I wasn't exactly terrible or bad, but I was not elite. Or Rocket League, I was playing Rocket League. And that's the only rank I remember out of all these games, but I was a champ 2, I think was my peak. And now I play on my Steam Deck every once in a while. Actually, I haven't touched that thing in like a week, but it's pretty dope. But damn, I haven't played ranked yet. That's how bad I am. I'm probably like plat to diamond level. Now, my game sense is probably better than my actual like skill level right now. But a lot of times I can't actualize my game sense because I'm trying to move faster than my skill will allow me. I'm trying to do something that is currently out of my capabilities. And ironically enough, that ties a lot into this video. I've said this in a few videos, but I don't believe that I deserve to blow up right now. This video should not blow up because the channel is still bare bones. And I've been saying this in the last few videos, is that it's about to go through a refresh. And all of these videos are kind of giving me segue or time to work on that and get my structure ready for all that. But even if I blow up after my refresh, now maybe my content will be better and it will be more thought out, planned, unique, more me. It'll have more personality as Project 1461. But even then, I don't know if I would deserve to blow up. Now, maybe after the vids have more work and the way I'm going to structure them should make them a lot better, a lot more engaging and more detailed, and just in every way, shape, and form better than what it is now, like a complete upgrade. So if it did blow up after the refresh, I'd be like, bet, this is a new challenge. Now I got to stay ahead of the curve. And also with more traction comes my next phases of what 1461 will eventually evolve into. But if it doesn't blow up until even the next refresh, where I implement even more new strategies, or even if I change something, right? Till I solidify what type of style I want Project 1461 to be, which might be this, to be honest. This next one, I like how I'm envisioning it. It's going to be sleek, simple, yet effective. And if it doesn't blow up, that's fine, because I'm still learning. Because even if my production gets better and I become better at speaking because of the way I'm going to organize the videos and make them, I can still get better. In a year from now, I'm going to be far beyond where I am now. I believe it's only been about 3 months since I started posting on 1461. So that's only a quarter of a year. Imagine three more quarters of the year, so 9 more months. My growth will be exponential. I'm sure that I'm going to be far above where I am now, far above. But I'll be building my skill that whole time. And so I'm not chasing speed. I'm longevity chasing, not overnight viral. If I blew up now, what would be the worth? I highly doubt that I would have an insane amount of recurring viewers, not because my advice is bad, but because I'm not great at articulating it yet. Because there are other people speaking on similar subjects. and maybe they word things in ways that you prefer over me, or their production is more in your taste than mine is, which right now it's bare bones. So, because the truth is, though my advice is unique in the sense of it comes from me, this is authentic, this is freestyled. I started at first using bullet points and stuff, and now I just do it off the dome. And then now I'm also gonna start having kind of guiding reference points like A, B, C, D conclusion. But even then, it's gonna be just mostly what I'm producing while I speak, while I think of the subject. While I'm talking, I'm coming up with ideas and speaking on them. But a lot of the knowledge I have is universal, or it's not unique to me. I'm not the only person who has thought of this stuff. A lot of the concepts I know are from watching other self-improvement creators, as well as life experience and applying these concepts, and just what I've observed from humans and just in my life, patterns of the universe, etc., energy, how meditation and energy has affected my life, fitness, and how, for example, foods, how they affect not only my physical body and my growth, but how they affect my brain and my brain performance, how substances have affected the way my brain works, even if I don't necessarily think they're bad to do in general. But moderation matters, and as of recently, I've decided that moderation is more than just once a week. Like, it should be far more spaced out than that for my personal life and my personal goals. And maybe once I'm like so far ahead, maybe I will drink once a week again because I can afford to. But right now, in this point in my life, it's simply not. It simply doesn't fit in with my goals and my aspirations for the next year. And so I suppose the point I'm trying to make with this is I'm authentic, but I'm not the only person who speaks about the things I speak about. Now, maybe I do have some more unique topics in terms of energy that a lot of self-improvement people don't talk about, or on the spiritual side. However, in a broad term of self-improvement, there are other people speaking on a lot of the things that I'm speaking on, and maybe they do it better. Or maybe they do it in a way that's more engaging or appealing to you in the moment. And that's largely due to the fact that they've developed their skill. They've developed their own style, their sauce, if you will. Like in music, if you sing without like a distinct voice, you don't got sauce. But like if you got that voice that's like, oh, that's that guy, right? That's what sauce is, right? It's something unique. It's something recognizable. It's an identity almost, right? And so I was about to say these other rappers, these other self-improvement gurus or creators in general, they have that sauce. You can tell them apart distinctly, uniquely, etc. They have their own formulas. And a lot of them didn't blow up like that. Some of them blew up quickly. Some of them grew slowly and then blew up. Like Alex Hormozy is a great example of someone who kind of slowly blew. Like it took him like 4 years or something like that, and then the 5th year he just fucking exploded, and he got hella. I forgot how many followers he got in that year, but I think he blew up to, was it 200,000 or 2 million? I don't know. I forgot the number off the top of my head, but he had an explosive growth in a single year. Or for example, Hamza, I'm pretty sure he kind of just blew up. Like, I don't think he was doing YouTube for that long before he blew up, unlike Alex, who was on YouTube for years and then blew up. Which Hamza's style is a lot more bare bones, but it works for him because he has kind of that like brotherly feel. He's like bros, right? Like, he even calls his people brothers. I'm gonna start calling my people gang. I'm gonna start every video with "What's up, gang," because that's the shit I say with my friends back home and all that. Like, we just call each other gang. So that's what we're gonna start doing. 1461ers are gang. Anyways, the main takeaway I want you to get from this video is that you gotta stop focusing on speed. You gotta stop focusing on how can I make this happen as fast as possible. Now, not in every instance. And in some cases, speed is good, especially when you have a deadline, etc. But you shouldn't be thinking, how can I get super rich super fast? You should be thinking, how can I become someone that can become rich infinitely, over and over and over and over again? Because getting rich is a skill. Despite what you think, the reason you're not rich is because you don't have the skills to be rich yet. The reason I'm not rich is It's because I don't have the skills to be rich yet. I fully believe that I have all the knowledge I need to get rich and that I am going to be rich, but I simply need more time to develop skill in the sauce and everything, whether it's in music or in 1461. There's just more growth to be had. Now, granted, I'm 19, so of course I've had less time to do this stuff, but I also don't view it as, oh, I'm 19, so it's fine. Like, the way I view it is, okay, but I can be rich before I turn 20, right? Because growth is exponential. It's not like you get 2 years of growth out of 2 years. You can get 6 years of growth in 6 months if you're doing the right things and you understand reality and you're really locking in on whatever's going to bring you to your goal. You know, you're not going to have that type of growth if you're still partying and diverting and clearly not living a fully aligned life. But when you live life in alignment with your goal and your soul and your mission, your current higher self's view of reality, once you're moving towards that fully, no compromises, your growth will fucking explode. I guarantee it. And I'll tell you, in the last 6 months of my life, I've grown more than any period in my life. I mean, the closest thing to it was when I started lifting at 16 and I went from big boy, 245 pounds, down to what? I got down to like 190, but I was like a fucking twig. You know what I mean? Like, I had no muscle mass. And then I started working out, and then I hovered around 220 and slowly went down to 200 and 190. And the leanest I ever got was 160, but then I actually had enough muscle mass to not look like fucking, what are those called? The skeleton Koopas, the fucking dry bones. So I had enough meat on my bones to not look like a dry bones. And I'm currently trying to get lean like that again, actually. And, you know, build more muscle, of course. But anyways, my point is that is like the closest thing to growth I've ever had, because I went from fat to not fat pretty much. And that was my first act of discipline in my life. But besides that, my life remained a fucking shitty thing where all I did was overstimulate and waste my time and beat my shit and smoke weed and vape and all the bad shit, all of it. 6 months ago, when I left the United States, that's when this process of change started. Now, if we wanted to quantify the growth, the first 3 months in the last 6 month span was a lot slower because it was more my body and my mind recalibrating to reality because I was not overstimulating as much. And I had relapse in porn one time, which lasted like 2 months. But that was low-key more recent. That was probably between month 3 and 4, like around the time I started 1461. But I grew a lot in month 2 to 3 out of the 6 month span. I grew a lot. Then that happened, and I kind of I made a video about this where you don't lose progress when you fall off, per se. You revert down to your like shitty lower self, right? But once you fix yourself again, you'll jump up to that baseline you were before you fucked yourself pretty quickly. And then I got back there, and then I started climbing again. In the last 2 months, I'd say we're more hidden growth in the first, and like the month before this was more hidden growth. It wasn't so exponential and clear in my life. But like right now to this day, I see the grand total of my growth in the last 6 months has been huge, and it was still on and off sloppy. So imagine the next 9 months. A year from when I started 1461, I guarantee I will not be the same person. I'm going to be on a whole different echelon of life. I'm going to be a better me, the future me. I guarantee I'll already be doing great things. I'll be able to speak with not only authority, but empathy, but also sternness, and I'll just have such good control over how I affect people with my words, you know, through their soul, their mind, their body, how I make them react and feel based on just psychology and just my understanding of energy. Same thing with my music. I guarantee my music will start hitting people on a more soul level, more deep. It'll ring in their brain and their mind. I'll understand what makes I don't want to say hit song, but a song that sticks with people, which would likely become a hit song, right? Of course, repetition is a big one in life in general. We're drawn to repetition, but a lot of it's melody and words and all that, which also kind of goes into repetition. But it's more about what I want people to feel from my art, because these videos are art. My music is art. Me growing my body is art. Me working on my brain is art. I'm making something out of the canvas of life that I have been given by being born. And so here I am. Anyways, build your skill, not your speed. And that's the only thing in life you need. Bars. Thank you for watching. If I resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, I implore you to like, subscribe, and turn on noties so you never miss a future upload. If you'd like to know me on a more personal level, you should check out my vlog, Joseph Marrone. The link will be in the description.